Alright folks, John Rush here today, my son Richard Rush behind the camera. We're going to do a review of the 2016 Toyota RAV4. Now, I have to tell you, this is the hybrid version of the RAV4, but just about 2 weeks ago I also had an opportunity to drive the standard gasoline-powered all-wheel drive version of the RAV4 up in Portland. So I'm going to combine a couple of reviews here into one, the hybrid and the gasoline review together. And believe it or not, I drove both cars. Both the same color. The only difference between this car and the car I drove in Portland was that was the new SE model, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the review. But believe it or not, the interior of this particular vehicle was identical to the car I drove up in Portland. So let's just get into it. We'll take a walk around the new RAV4, and this is new for 2016. It's a larger car than what there's been before in the past. It's a little bit more of aggressive styling. You can tell by the front end that they've redesigned, and you can tell by the blue logo up here around them that this is actually the hybrid version of the car that we're driving right now. Let me get into some of the data on the car. So, larger car, interior room is much larger. There's 37 inches of legroom in the back seat, which we'll get into in just a second. There's 38 feet of total cargo room in a gas-powered vehicle, 35 feet of cargo room behind the back seat in a hybrid version. 73 feet total in the gasoline version if you fold the seats down, and 70 cubic feet of storage total if you go to the hybrid version, which is this car. We'll show you that here in just one second. But you can see a little more aggressive styling. They've changed the rocker panels. The SE version of the car, which is what I drove up in Portland, comes in 3 colors: white, blue, and a black with a lower silver trim and 18-inch wheels. And I will tell you what, it's a really, really good-looking car, and it's a little less money than the Limited. And I'll tell you what, I feel like it's one of the better buys in the RAV4 lineup, but it does not come in the hybrid. So what do you get in the hybrid version you don't get in the standard 2.5 liter 4-cylinder? Let me give you the horsepower numbers. Believe it or not, the hybrid actually runs better, and it's a little stronger. It's 1 second faster in the 0-60 time. Partially because it's 194 horsepower combined in the hybrid versus 176 horsepower in the standard 4-cylinder. I will tell you this, those of you in the past that have been used to the RAV4 with the V6, you may like driving the hybrid version better than the standard 2.5 liter because of that extra pickup. You're going to need to go out and drive these cars and be the judge of that. Cost-wise, let me get into that real quick for you. I've wrote some numbers down. You can actually buy a RAV4 front-wheel drive version, starting at, with a 2.5 liter engine in it, starting at $24,350. Now, they go all the way up to the SE, $30,665, which is the other car that I drove, and the hybrid limited, like you see it right now, $33,610, and depending upon where you live and the destination fees and so on, figure about another $1,000 onto those prices that I just gave you for the destination fees. So, basically, you can buy this car anywhere from about $25,000 to $35,000. There's about a $10K difference depending upon how you equip the car. Let's come back. We'll go through the back end of the car, show you some of the cargo room, and I will tell you right now, it's going to surprise you how much room is actually inside the RAV4. This car, even though it's one of the smaller SUV platforms, very versatile, has a lot of interior room in it. We'll get right into that. All right, folks, we're now at the back end. We'll get into some of the storage capabilities back here in the back, behind the seats. One thing I do want to mention in Toyota, if you're listening, I really wish you would do some sort of an easy hatch on these cars. It's becoming very, very competitive in the market for, either swinging your foot underneath. Some of your other cars in the Lexus lineup, you can go over the badging and it will raise up. Other cars, you just walk up and it automatically opens. I think that's something, Toyota, that you're missing, and I think it's something you need to add. You've got a really great, solid vehicle, great platform. You've been a leader in this industry for a really long time. Let's move it up a pace and get some of those things going, because otherwise I've got to come back here and actually hit the button to get it open. It does have an automatic gate, so kudos to you there. You've done a good job there. And several years ago, they took that stupid tire off the back, placed it down underneath, and made it a hatch where you could actually raise it up instead of that swinging gate. So again, good move on Toyota's part that way. You'll notice, one thing right off the bat, you'll notice, going to load luggage, groceries, things like that in and out of the back, really, really low entrance here as far as picking stuff up and putting them in, and yet I've got lots of height here for my head. When you look back here, again, I'll give you the cubic feet numbers again real quick. I believe it is 30, let me double check myself here. It's 35 and 38 accordingly. So 35 on this car being a hybrid, 38 cubic feet on a non-hybrid version, so a gasoline-powered version, 70 and 73 with the seats folded down. But as you can see, lots of storage room back here. We drive a Grand Cherokee, my wife does, and you will notice that not a ton of difference between this and a Grand Cherokee. These seats will fold flat. In fact, I'll just jump around here to the front real quick. Move the snow brush, and I'll just fold these flat. And these are in the recline position right now, because you can see these will actually recline. And when I sit in there, I'll do this again, but they will recline or they fold up. Now, one thing you will notice, these do not go completely flat. You'll notice, especially on this hybrid version, this little storage compartment here is what you end up with. And if you were going to, fold both seats down completely flat, you would have this bump in the way when it comes to laying things all the way across here. May or may not be a deal breaker. You're going to have to be the judge of that for yourself. I'm going to go sit in this middle seat here, the second seat, and show you how much room I've got as far as legroom goes. All right, folks, going to jump now in the back seat of the new 2016 Toyota RAV4. 37 inches of legroom, and when I hop in, you'll notice lots and lots of legroom. This seat is actually reclined. I'm going to bump this up to where it's actually more comfortable, and you'll just notice lots and lots of legroom. They have added a power port back here to the back. It's down here below us in the console. It's hard to see, but there is a power port down below in the console. No heated or ventilated seats back here. There is a little center console that does fold down with a couple of cup holders in it. It's a very, very comfortable back seat, especially for two full-size adults. You could, though, squeeze 3 in here. I don't know that I'd want to go cross-country with 3, but, running around town, what have you, plenty of room back here. And you will also notice with the amount of legroom back here, for those of you with families, a couple of kids, car seats, what have you, plenty of room back here. And it does have the child safety locks that come standard on the door. Where you can actually lock where a kid can't get out by himself or herself. Really nice cup holder here. Nice apportionments throughout. The soft tech seats, they call them. They've combined that onto the side panel here on the door panel also. Really, really nice job. And when I get back out of the car, ingress, egress, fantastic. I'll jump around and meet you in the front seat. All right, folks, now in the front seat, 2016 Toyota RAV4. And one thing that you'll notice on the interior, and at least for me personally, even though there's a little bit less room on the hybrid version than the standard gas version, it's negligible. The only thing I will notice, or that I will say, is, as I was talked about earlier in the back, because of the battery pack that's in the back and that little ledge thing, you do not have that in the gas version. So I didn't show that because I didn't really have a video camera and everything with me when I did that last review on the SE version. But you do get a little bit flatter floor back there with that particular vehicle, just something to note. Otherwise, as far as the interior is concerned, very much the same. Love this two-tone look. I love this. It's a soft text, they call it, but really feels and acts like leather. You really wouldn't know it from leather. Really done a nice job on it. The layout, the dash, the storage compartments. They've added a cup holder or changed the cup holder where you can actually use a cup with a handle on it here if you wanted to, which is another nice feature. Heated and cooled, or not ventilated. Heated seats two-way is what I meant to say on the front, so there's a high and a low on those. There's multiple modes depending upon which particular vehicle you choose as far as Eco, Normal, EV, Sport, all those different things. It really varies depending upon whether you're in a hybrid version or the standard gas version. The other thing the SE gives you that I drove up in Portland is really cool paddle shifters, which actually makes the car very, very fun to drive. And at sea level, the 2.5 liter engine, really, really responsive. So real quick, differences in mileage. So just me personally driving, I couldn't compare at altitude both vehicles, but what I will tell you is at sea level, the 2.5 liter, we averaged in the high 20s, 28, 29 miles to the gallon. This particular vehicle, the hybrid, at altitude here in Denver, this particular vehicle that I've been driving, we've been averaging anywhere between 32 and 33 around town. So not a huge difference in fuel economy. You'll need to determine whether it's worth paying the roughly additional $2 to $3 grand extra for the hybrid technology. That's your call. Keep in mind, you lose a little bit of cargo space with that also. But I will say this, the pickup, the power in this hybrid version, much, much higher than it is in the standard 2.5 liter. But I tell you what, put Richard in the back seat. We'll go take a drive. We'll go through the rest of some of the interior features, some of the AV system. It does have the full Entune with it. And the model that I drove up in Portland had the full JBL sound system in it, which, by the way, sounded fantastic. So with that, Richard's going to hop in the front seat and we'll go take a drive. All right, folks, now Richard's in the back seat. Show you a little bit more. We'll go take a drive. I'm going to start the car. Again, hybrid. Push the button On the standard V6, of course, the car is going to start and away you go. We'll notice the nice sunroof that's up above here. They've done a nice job on that. Just gives you some extra lighting and just feels a little more open inside. And again, you can see real quick here. So my best fuel economy has been 30, and I've averaged about 31. Now, I did not clear that before we took a drive, so depending upon who had this car prior to us, you know, I may have been a little bit higher than that as far as the averages go. The average, as far as on the indicator right here in the middle of the dash, I've been as high as 37, but of course then that goes back down depending upon how hard you're driving the vehicle. Back to the 2.5 liter engine, I averaged around 28, 29 miles to the gallon, and that up in the Portland area. So again, that's at sea level. So dual climate control, which is a nice feature, so you can adjust that according to whatever you want on either side. Outside of that, it's pretty standard as far as the rest of it goes. Nice steering wheel. They've got everything lined out very, very well on the steering wheel itself. They've done a good job there. Again, you can look at all the different features that every single model has, starting from the very basic all the way up to the limited, and you can package it however you want to. Keep in mind there's about a 10 grand difference from the very bottom to the very top. Intune system, we've talked about a lot in the past. Not going to get into much of that today, just because it's pretty standard. We've gone over it before with Toyota. It's a nice system. They've done a good job. The only thing I will note is this knob is a little bit far away. Not bad. I can still reach it. You have to lean forward just a tad. Not a huge issue. Ergonomically, everything else in here does a pretty good job. You know, pretty good job. Pretty well laid out. So, as we take a drive, and you notice on the hybrid, drives just like it would any other car. So, as I push on the gas, we go. This particular model off hybrid will go up to almost a little over half a mile, 0.6 miles on battery power only, providing you stay under 25 miles an hour. So just something to keep in mind. You can drive it in the EV mode, battery only, and it's a pretty, you know, it's a relatively quiet car. And I will tell you that even the four-cylinder option, the 2.5 liter, the SE version I drove up in Portland, again, quiet car, even on the Portland roads, which, by the way, are extremely, extremely rough. The highways are really rough up there. If you've never been up there, you don't know what I'm talking about. Those of you that live up there and know what I'm talking about, you know how rough your highways really are. I'm going to be quiet for just a moment so you can hear the interior of the RAV4. I should say lack of interior. One thing I like about the hybrid you can do is basically downshift, use the regenerative braking to slow you down. I can come all the way down this hill without even having to step on the brake. I'm not on the brake right now, and I've already slowed all the way down to under 20 miles an hour, all by just using the stick and going to regenerative braking. That part of it I like very well. I like the hybrids in that regard. Okay, my opinion of this particular car versus the 2.5 liter. I've done a lot of opinions already through the review. Would I buy the hybrid version of this car? Personally, I probably would stick with just the naturally aspirated 2.5 liter. I just don't feel like you're gaining enough fuel economy to go to the hybrid version, and you lose a little bit of cargo space. Personally, I don't feel like there's a big enough power difference to make that big of a difference to go the hybrid, but you need to be the judge of that and go figure that out for yourself. As far as the rest of this vehicle is concerned and how everything works, the functionality, the roominess, I'll even give the opinion of my wife, who's got a new Grand Cherokee, a 2015 Grand Cherokee. I'll tell you what, interior-wise, backseat room, all of that, after driving the car, and this was actually a choice I had outside of the Grand Cherokee. It was between this and the Grand Cherokee, and I'll be honest with you, it was a really, really tough choice deciding between the two. The only reason I went Grand Cherokee versus the RAV4 was a little more off-road capability. I should say a lot more off-road capability. That's really the only difference. Outside of that, interior-wise, creature comforts, the way they're laid out, the fuel economy, the reliability, all of that on the Toyota side of the fence, you know what? You just can't beat it. It's a really, really great vehicle. So, for me, this is a home run. Toyota, you've done a great job. I love the styling. It's a good-looking car. I got a lot of great compliments on it. Anybody that got inside this car with all the two-tone interior just absolutely loved it. So, go check out this vehicle, 2016 Toyota RAV4. Go to your local Toyota dealer. Tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.